Heidi ho, my crafty friends. This is Lori at the Ladybug Journals. I hope you all didn't think I fell off the face of the earth and just forgot about you. I didn't, of course. It's just been a busy week with family birthdays and just craziness all around. So I wanted to jump on here today, and we are going to let me get a hold of our book. We're going to work in our Defember journal. Ooh, I said it. And we are going to do number 11 and number 12, least favorite ephemera and black and white. So I thought what we would do, and I'm going to put this over here out of the way, is we're going to kind of do them all at one time. Now, as you know, you can kind of do your own take on them, and this is my take on them. So, for my least favorite is decoupage. I just don't like decoupage. I'm not good at it. I don't like it. And decoupage also, you know, extends into masterboards and all of that you decoupage. I don't like it. So we are going to decoupage this journaling card, and all it is just a little reminder. And I've inked around it with black soot to go along with the black and white. And I've torn out some I'll think of what they're called. Hold on a minute. Dictionary pages. And we're going to use those for our decoupage. And I have no clue what we're going to use for the actual focal points yet. So I'll figure that out in a minute. And we're going to glue those down. I'm just going to use my glue stick. And I'm just putting some on. And when I decoupage, I just like to put them any which old way. And I don't, sometimes, I can't say all the time. It depends on what I'm decoupaging. I don't always ink around the pages, or, you know, the edges, unless I know it's going to touch another page. Like I know I want this one to lay on top of that one. So I'm going to ink around it. This edge, I know I'm going to let hang off. So I want that to kind of be just a little more pronounced. And I also know I forgot to glue the edge of that page. So I'm going to have to do that. I think this is why I don't like it very much. Because I'm constantly having to remember to glue this and glue that. And it is just not one of my, I know it's easy to do, but, you know, it's just, I just don't like it. Now, I've got Spanish dictionaries, I've got, you know, regular American dictionaries, so the print's a little different, and there's, you know, some natural, you know, caramelization on it. And I have no idea what some of these say. So I'm just putting them down any which way I want to. The shapes are all different. And after the glue dries a little bit, we're going to trim it off and decide what we want to put on it as our focal point. And while that's driving. Oh, well, that didn't come out right, did it? Let's see. Let's go over here with a bigger one. This is a thinner page. So we're going to, you all know how to do this. So I hope everybody's well. And I want to thank everybody for their nice, kind comments that I've received on some of the other videos. That was very nice of you. Okay, so let's get some glue down here. There we go. And we'll put some glue in here. I hope everybody is having a nice week and a nice weekend's planned. Let's put some glue up in here. Maybe stick this piece up here. Let's tear that off because that's not going to touch anywhere. There we go. Now, what is your favorite or not so least favorite? You know, ephemera piece to make. Do you guys like doing decoupage, or do you have another favorite that you like to do? Or a least favorite, I guess I should say, that you like to do? Or don't like to do, I guess would be the better word. All right, I think I want to bring some of this one down because I like the color a little bit better. Let's bring this one down. See, it's got just a little bit of a different color to it. So let's bring some of this one down. There we go. Let's do that. Let's get some of this down in here. Okay. Oops. Yeah, I have a journal cover that we're going to be working on. That's a decoupage. And oh my goodness, I've had it for years and I'm having the hardest time getting it finished. It's a fabric cover, so I am going to rely on you guys to help me. I'm going to post it in the community, and I want you guys to look at it and help me with it if you would. I've got the base of it done, but it needs something. It's missing something. It's missing the rest of it. Does that make sense? It's just missing the rest of it. All right, so I'm going to let this dry for a minute before I try cutting anything off, because I don't want it, you know, scooting around and, you know, making a mess. And then I'm going to come back and do some inking, and we're going to decide what we're going to put on the top of it. So this needs to dry before I try to cut it, or everything's going to scoot and wiggle. And we are going to slide this into the trash here real quick. So let's do that. And our pages, I'm just going to save. I'm just going to put all these together. So, you know, even though you've used these for decoupage, you know, and you've torn on them and stuff, you can save them. You know, just put them with your other book pages, because when you make your next journal, you can still use them. So let's just scoot them up there. Okay, I have an idea of what I want to do on it. So we'll put that up there. I have an idea. We'll put that up there. Okay, so this is going to be the tag, and I really, really like this, but I think it's really going to be difficult to use for what I want to do with it. So what I want to do is, I'm done with this, so let's put this away. Let's put our ink away. All right, so let me grab the paper that I want. There it is, right there. All right, so this is the paper I want to use. And honestly, I don't think I'm going to be able to use that ruffled edge on there. And this is the fabric that I want to use. I want to make some tags. Okay, so this is the fabric that I want to use to make some tags. And I got out some lace. You know, the world is not just black and white. It comes in tans and grays, and every now and then a little bit of pink gets thrown in. You know, pink's my favorite color. So every now and then a little bit of pink gets thrown in. So I've got some neutral off-white lace. I've got some of this little white lace trim. And I have some of this black trim here. It's really pretty. You know, I don't use this very much. I have some vintage lace. Let me put this on here and I can show you what it looks like. And then I have this vintage lace. Oop, that's not what I wanted. I have this vintage lace that came off a wedding dress. Let me see, maybe if I put it on my sleeve, I can show you better. See, that's why I don't think I can use it, because I don't think I'm going to be able to hold on to it. That's the vintage lace. And then I have a vintage, this is like a table runner. And I think I want to use like the edging of it. See how the edging is kind of scalloped? I want to use this bottom piece of it to hang off the bottom of the tag. So I would cut it like right around in here, and then figure out, or right around in here, and hang it off the bottom of the tag. So that's why I don't think this scalloped edge would work with this tag. So I'm thinking just this plain paper would work. Now, this is just watercolor paper, and I chose watercolor paper because of all the gluing and the fabric that's going to be on it. And this is from that same wedding dress. Oops. Let me turn it around here. Okay. So we'll have a lot to play with, and I just need to cut this. And for my tags, I usually like about 2.5. Let's see here. I usually like about, now let's see. They're going to be too big? Yeah, I think it is. Let's go for about a 2-inch. Is that going to be too little though? Let me see where my other tag is I just did. All right, how big is this tag that I'm working on? No, this tag is 2.5 inches. All right, so let's do this one at 2.5. Okay. All right, so we're going to make this 2.5 inches, but it is definitely too long. So we are going to cut it right about here. Let's take that one out of there. There we go. Okay, now we just need to make our little ends here. Now, how about we use this tag as our guide. Now, you don't have to do this, of course. You can make the top of your tag any way you want. It doesn't matter. It's just a tag. Do whatever you choose. That's what I always say. A tag is a tag. It just doesn't matter. There we go. Okay. Let's put that over there. Now, I'll worry about the top of it later. Now, I do want to cover this with fabric. Now, I got this fabric at Joann's. It's my only fabric place, in my area. And I am going to use my Scotch glue stick for this. It's just a cotton fabric that I can use for gluing and things like that. but I can also use it for fabric. I can use it for lightweight fabrics. Let me put it that way. I can use it for lightweight fabrics. Okay, now I kind of want to get and I don't mind if I'm a little wampadoodled here because I want that little dress. There we go. Okay. There. Now, I'm going to let that sit for just a second. And we are, whoops. And I'm going to take, there they are. I'm going to take my scissors here. And I'm going to trim it off of this side. Right through those little scissors. Now, with this type of fabric, you could also use this little tag in a sewing journal. You could use it in a neutral journal. You could use it any type of journal, you know, that you wanted to use it in. And I just saw something I need to cover up on here. I am notorious for writing myself notes. And there's some information for somebody that I don't want you guys so how about we do it this way? There. There. I will do that to protect her information. There. Since I forgot. Okay. So I'm going to go on and cut this off. Now, normally I would let this sit because you can see how this tag is curling. So normally I would let this sit and dry, and I would put books on top of it to let it dry flat. And I would not be cutting this fabric off of it. I would let this fabric stay on it. I want to see if, can you see how it's curling? Can you see the curl? I hope you can. It's curling right here. Can you see that curl? So normally I would let this sit overnight with books on top of it, or at least for several hours, and I would let it dry with those books on it so that the card would dry flat. Oh dear, I just got glue on my fabric scissors. That is not a good thing. I am so sorry about that. You are going to need a bath. Okay. There. Oh my gracious. I have never gotten glue on my fabric scissors. Well, she is getting a bath. Okay, so here's our tag. So now we get to play. So I really do like this. Now I'm going to make sure you guys can see me. Okay, you can, good. Now, how about I bring you, let's see if I have something I can put under that brown. Let's see if that helps. Let's see if that paper helps. Yeah, that does not help at all, does it? That does not help you at all. All right, how about if I just bring you a little closer so you can see what I'm doing better. Okay, so we have that. What about this? Let's see if we like this. No, I don't like that at all. Ooh, don't like that at all. Nope, don't like that one. Now, remember, I wanted to cut this. So let's go on and cut this. Let's see if I do like this. Maybe. 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 You know, this brown paper is very distracting, isn't it? How about we do this? Let's do this. Let's get that brown paper out of our way. There. That brown paper was very distracting. Now, let's see. That's better. I like that much better. All right, hold on a second. Okay. I've decided we're going to ink this up a little bit more. And then I've decided it needs gold. It just needs gold. That's just all there is to it. And maybe that will help. All right, so I've added the black around the outside. And then I think we're going to add, what is this? This is gold luster wax. So I'm going to take this on my finger here. And let's see, I've never put luster wax on fabric before. Let's see how it works. Well, it does not spread very well, does it? No, it does not. It doesn't even smear very well. Let's see. Oh, well, that's not bad, but it does not give me the look that I want. Yeah, I wanted a little touch of the gold. It smells really good. It smells like oranges. I wanted a touch of it there in the fabric. Okay, well, I'm going to have gold all over my fingers when we go eat our lunch today. Well, there we go. We have discovered that luster wax does not like to spread on fabric, you guys. How's that for an experiment? Okay, but it does spread around the edge of the card really well. All right, and I do like that. Okay, so I need to wipe my hands off. So let's do that. Let me get hold of my baby wipe. So before I touch anything, I'm not spreading this gold everywhere. All right, so I'm thinking, yes, see, this card needs something. It needs lots, as a matter of fact. It just needs a lot. Hold on. I know what it needs. Hold on a minute. Yeah. Oh my goodness, I've got this everywhere. Okay. Good heavens, how in the world did I get this everywhere? All right, let me get this off my hands. Hold on a second. Okay, so I got out my button bowl, and I got out some of my little beads. Make sure you all can see what I've got out here. Let me adjust you so you can see here. So I have a little fancy shoe, a little cameo, and I actually have some little charms that are buttons, but I have so many buttons here in my little button bowl that I thought, no, I don't want to use those. But I also have, you know, some little sewing charms, some little pins, you know, I have all kinds of little sewing charms from a sewing book. So I thought, well, I would look through these and see if anything struck my fancy. Oops, sorry, there's my head. But I do want some black buttons. And there's that white button I wanted. And I want a black button. And I was hoping, aha, there's the pink button I wanted. And this is just a very small portion of the buttons I have. I think that's more the white button I wanted. And this is a vintage button, but I don't have a big black vintage button. I have more of a, they're more modern, like this. And that would make this really bulky. So I think I'm going to stick with the smaller buttons. And I want to make, because this it has the tans, the golds, the grays. I'm not worried about having just black and white. But I was looking for, here's a little gold one. No, I don't like that one. I was looking for something unique, you know, something different. And I have some of the smaller little buttons in here. Now, these are little buttons that might work for our tag. These are just the little buttons in here. And if there's a little gold button in here that, you know, strikes our fancy. Oh, now that's a nice size little black one. And it's got a little bit of gray in it. Now, this one I think will be perfect. Right there. But again, I don't see a gold anywhere in here. Whoops! Good thing I had it over the button box, huh? No, I don't see a little gold one in here. These are all little vintage buttons from 1942. Vintage and More, or that's not her name. I am so sorry. I will put her name, her Etsy shop, in the description. I think I like that one better. It's a little smaller. And I think I like that one better. That one goes a little better with the fabric. Let's see this black one. That's a good size. Here's a little vintage pink one. Let's try that one. Yeah, I like that pink one. All right, so let's use those. Looks like we're going for the vintage theme here, you guys. And I think here we're going to maybe put, here we're going to use one of these little tiny paper clips we're going to pick one of our little charms. I think maybe I don't think that little charm's going to fit on here, though. I don't think it's in the right spot. I don't think that little hook's in the right spot. I don't think that little hook is in the right spot to fit. So I don't think that'll fit. Because those little, they're all in the middle. Okay, so let's get, I think this might be dry enough to, let's get this closed up and out of the way before I knock it over. Hold on, I gotta put that back in there. Okay, let's put that back down there. Okay, that one's closed. All right, let's get our punch and our eyelet set and do that. So let me grab them here. Okay, so here's our tag. Let's move those buttons because that's a little discerning, isn't it? And let me grab the eyelet set here. Okay, so I got the eyelet in. So now we're going to start gluing here. So across the bottom, I want to put our black trim right here, and because it frays, we need to make sure that we hit the ends with a little bit of glue. And any type of glue, you know, that will hold fabric will do this. And any type of glue that you use on fabric trims like this is a braided trim, you need to make sure that you hit the ends with it, or your braid will fray. So you just go up the edge like this. And that will keep your edge from fraying, okay? As long as it dries clear, you're good to go. Just like that. And that'll keep your edge from fraying. Now, on your piece like this, you're gonna wrap it in tape like that, okay? So you're just gonna take a piece of Scotch tape. You just take a piece of regular, it doesn't have to be Scotch brand tape, of course. It can be any type of tape. It could be painter's tape if you want, it doesn't matter. And you put it around. Make sure that your cut end is down and inside, and you bring it around and you make sure it's sealed inside the tape. And that'll protect that end from fraying while you've got it stored, okay? So that needs to dry. So now we need to decide how we want to decorate this. Well, I kind of have an idea, you know, as we were playing, of what I want to do. So the best way to get buttons to lay flat is to use your flat end, especially if they have thread in them and they're, you know, they're vintage buttons. If you try to get this end to lay, it won't lay flat. It's gonna poke up a little bit. So what I want to do is I want this end to lay, and I like the color that it's showing me. Now this end doesn't make any difference. So I'm going to let this end sit up, and I want that end over there, and I'm going to make just a little collage here like this. And since it's a tag, I know it's going to hang, but I need to make sure it's over far enough that I can either put my boot or my cameo. Now I want either one or both of these to hang off the top like that. So I want them to hang, and I want my buttons to be at the bottom. Now, at the top, I'm going to put one of these. Either this one, or I might include both of them if I can get them through my eyelet, because they're very bulky. So I'm going to try that. Now this one I liked because it's got the pink and it's a little bit sparkly. Now, I'm not usually a sparkly girl. As a matter of fact, I think glitter is evil. And if you've ever watched my channel, you know I say that all the time. So we're going to take this off. And if you don't like the little sparkly things, don't use them. You know, just don't use them. These are strings. You can separate them. And by the looks of things, that may be what I'm doing. Because I can't seem to get them separate here. Oh, okay. Maybe because I'm at the bottom. So let's wrap this back up and go back to the top. Silly girl. All right, let's start up here at the top. Oh, there we go. That's better. Okay, so now I can decide what I want. Well, I want this little lacy piece. I want the pink, and I want that little lacy piece. I don't necessarily want this little sparkly dude. So I can leave him. And I can save him. You don't have to throw them away. You can save them. You can pull them out like I'm doing here. And you can save them. Okay, so I want this. Where are my big scissors? I think I buried them. Oh, gracious. I do believe I've buried them. Okay, well, we'll use this. Okay. All right, so I want that. And I want some of the black and the white. So I need to separate this from this. And see, the black has that tan in it. And that's what I want. But it's attached up here. So I need to get it off. And get a hold of it. There we go. Okay. There. So now I've got a really bulky that I need to try to get through here. So let's see if we can do that. So I'm going to, whenever you have something bulky, you get a hold of your ends and you squish them. Just squishy, squishy. Now, remember, we still have that other little card, that other little card we do, and I think I have figured out what I want to do on it. I don't know what I want my focal point to be, but I kind of sort of do. All right, so I'm using the pen, which should be in my glue bottle, but it's not, to poke all these through so I can get a hold of them. Oops, I missed one. All right, if I miss one, I'll just pull it out and I'll save it, because I think I have enough of them. All right, let's pull these through and let's put this back in the glue bottle. There we go. All right, so now I have all the colors that are in my tag. Okay. This is a big old chunky monkey, isn't it? Okay. So let's give this a tie. Now these will come untied. Okay. So let's put a little drop of glue underneath. Hold them in place. Just like that. Now, I'm going to take a couple of the smaller ones, you know, the thinner strings, like this one. That's an actual, something I can actually tie on. And I'm going to tie my boot on it. Oops, maybe. I'm going to put my boot on it. I'm going to decide where I want it, right about there. And holding it in place, I'm going to tie it. Okay, and I'm going to let it just jingle around. Now I'm going to come over here to this side and find it. And I'm going to do the same thing with this. Except I think I want, well, come here. Okay. Except I want this one below it, right about here. Now, if you're going to trim them, make sure you don't put this below where you're going to trim them. Of course, once you tie this, it will be shorter than, you know, the rest of your strings. Okay. And it is slipping and sliding all over the place since I took that paper up. Okay, so basically it's going to hang here. Now, I am going to trim the rest of these off because these are a little long. Now I'm going to pull this up out of the way. These are just a little too long for me for a tag because you can't even see the tag. So I'm going to trim these about here, and then I'm going to save these in my scrap box. Okay, now I'm going to do the rest down here. So I'm going to take my glue and I'm going to make myself a little spot of glue here. And I'm going to put the red in it, or the pink. I think it actually started out as red. And then I'm going to put the black. And I think we're going to have a part 2 for our collage one. And then this one is going to go right here. Right here. And then this little one, whoops, I'm going to put right here on top. And I know I just broke on all the art rules of only threes by making it 4, but I really like that little button. Okay, so that's my collage. And this is also my black and white, so I've combined them. And now I have a tag for in my journal. Now, what do I do with my journal? Oops, I buried it. Okay, come here, you. All right, so let me put my pin in my glue here. All right, so we are going to have a part 2 because I don't want to keep you guys any longer today. Now, this page I want to put on here. It's going to go here. So the next time we're going to create a pocket or something that we're going to attach it here. But for right now, because it has to dry, we are going to use one of my little paper clips. And I am, oops, it's more than one page. Let me get a hold of it here. Oh gosh, I must have a lot of them. I'm going to clip it right here. Come on. Oops. I must need to glue that down. It's going to go right here. And I'll have all these little diddly bops hanging out. So there we go. So there's black and white, which is the prompt for December the 12th. So we can mark that off. And then we're going to finish in part 2, our least favorite, which for me is collage. So this is what we have so far, but we're going to finish it in part 2. This is what we have so far, and we will finish it in part 2. So you guys can look for that one when I get it out. It will say, December 11th. But for now, there's black and white for December the 12th. And I want to thank everybody for joining me today here and having some fun and creating this fun little tag using black and white and, sometimes a little bit of pink and a lot of fun little things that I really don't ever use because they just get, they get put away and I forget about them. So thank you for joining me. And I want to thank everybody again for all the fun and wonderful and beautiful comments that you've left me. You guys have been so kind, and you have been so nice, and I really appreciate it. And I hope that you come back and you join me again when we do our video for my least favorite. And now that the birthdays are past, and we will get caught up on our Defember. Oh goodness, I can't say it again. Oh shoot, you know what I mean. We'll get caught up on those, and we'll have some fun. And come back and join me again here at the Ladybug Journals. And don't forget, you can like, you can subscribe, and you can share our videos. So, until I see you again in our next video, ta-ta for now.